Okay, calm down.
What would be some of the things that you would enact in terms of policy?
Well, I would begin with using the bully pulpit and say that the Gilded Age is over, that organized greed and institutionalized hatred and routinized indifference toward the plight of the vulnerable is over, that American imperial sway around the globe acting as if it has no accountability is over. So that's at the level of vision. Then I would say, now, given all the resources that we have, what is it, 1.5 trillion going to military, in addition to State Department, in addition to Homeland Security slices and what have you, major cuts for redistribution downward. Taxes, of course, very difficult to ever execute because the well-to-do have very clever lawyers that have various tax loopholes and tax evasion strategies and so forth, but taxes would have to go up in a significant way. And people would feel as if, for the first time in a long, long time in American history, that poor and working people would be integral at the center of policy. I told my beloved wife, I said, if I win, when I win, I don't even want to go into the White House until everybody has a house. Just to send a sign. So you see all these precious homeless folk out here, we're going to get them a place before we move in. Wow, what's going on? That's just theatrical. That's just performance. Well, no, it's a little more than that. It's a reshaping of the priorities. And you remember that's what Martin King called for, a revolution in priorities that goes toward a revolution in actuality. And revolution is always what? The sharing of power. The sharing of resources, the sharing of dignity from the bottom up. Those Frantz Fanon call the wretched of the earth. We would say the precious wretched of the earth. And that same message would be heard in Latin America. It would be heard in Africa. It would be heard in the Middle East and so forth. So it would be a very, very different sensibility in regard to the Ukraine. You see, I would be the first to say, the United States reneged on its promise to not expand NATO. We promised Gorbachev and others we wouldn't move 1 inch. We were not true to our treaties. It looks like the treaties we have with indigenous peoples. We were not true to our treaties. I want to reintroduce America and the world to the best of America. What is the best of America? The struggle for poor and working people's rights and dignity of women and people of color and others, but it's a more than spiritual thing. It's not tribal. It's not going to be no neoliberal identity politics, making
more
the
a top
10%,
a rainbow top 10%,
class hierarchy more colorful, and the professional managerial class still having too much contempt and condescension toward poor and working people, you see. So the first thing would be setting that new framework, that new lens through which we're looking at the world and letting folk know that the Gilded Age is over. The People's Age is beginning.
It's funny, you reminded me when you said that you wouldn't move into the White House until homeless people had houses. It reminds me, I think it was Tupac Shakur said this when he was much younger. He said, how can there be homeless people when, there's room in the White House for them?
Ooh, I didn't know that. What song is that? You remember?
No, it was like an interview. He was young. He talked about it was when Ronald Reagan was president, so he was very young. Yeah.
Right. This is a big question. No one's been able to answer it, and this is staggering. How can Reagan live in the White House, which has a lot of rooms, and there'd be homelessness? And he's talking about helping homelessness. This is what I mean about practicality. All right, if there's someone homeless in Washington, D.C., if there's homelessness, and he has the White House, which has 1,000 rooms, why can't he take some of them people off the street and put them in his White House? Because he doesn't want to get dirty. The White House would be a little tainted.
I was blessed to have Tupac in my class.
Really? Ooh, what happened?
Yes, indeed. The House of Lord Pentecostal Church, 415 Atlantic Avenue, with Reverend Herbert Daltrey, who was the founder of National Black United Front. You might remember him. And we used to have Timbuktu Learning Center every Wednesday with Charles Barron and Inez and so forth. And I would speak there regularly. I was part of the faculty there. And Afeni, who was one of the great freedom fighters, member of the Black Panther Party and so forth, who was the mother of
Right.
Tupac. She was a member of the church, and she
And
would bring
Asada's
little
sister.
Tupac,
Right.
and he's sitting there on the front row. I can still see his beautiful eyes. Little young brother.
Wow.
Young brother. Who would have known he'd be the giant and the genius that he ended up being? But then, of course, such a short life, but such a long impact.
Yeah.
He's just, we don't have a language to describe his genius and his personality. But it's fascinating you would mention that, though. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll find the clip and I'll send it. I think I saw in a documentary about him.
Wow.
Yeah.
You saw Dear Mama on Netflix?
No, I have to see it. Is it good?
All 5 episodes. Ooh.
Okay, I have to watch it. This is from years ago, but I know
okay. Yeah,
Phantom Esponza, who helps with the show, clips the show, keeps telling me to watch it. So I'll watch it.
She's Asada Shakur. I mean, good God. See, one of the things I would do as president is pardon Julian Assange and Edward Snowden, Mumia Abu Jamal, and H. Brown, and so many other political prisoners. Brother Leonard, absolutely. Just so many folk who are there who are innocent. I mean, you expose the war crimes of an empire, and you end up incarcerated.
Right.
And the folks who commit the war crimes walk around sipping tea. I mean, it's not right. It's just not right.